When a man is handsome, educated, make good money, but still single, what could the problem be?
Yes, men are happy being single. They are. They're definitely enjoying it more than they used to before. And because I see it, it's gotten harder to date, lately. Men are very satisfied in their lives without women. They are. They're working a lot, either working a lot, or if they're not working, then, they'll hang out with their friends, with their family, with their kids. Well, with their kids, it's a given. But yeah, they're happy being, if they're not married, they're happy being, bachelors and having their own space and not having to commit to anyone. So yeah, this wasn't the case before, but this is what it is now.
They blamed MGTOW for it. They blamed podcasts. They blamed YouTube. They blamed toxic masculinity. They blamed the internet. Anything except the environment that made men leave in the first place. Because it's easier to attack a label than confront a pattern.
It's interesting when men are more concerned about the victims of false accusations, which are an anomaly, than they are about the victims of actual sexual assault, which is the norm. I also think in order for false accusations to have any sort of negative impact on someone's livelihood, particularly white men, actual accusations of SA would have to have some sort of impact on men's livelihood, but they don't. You can be accused of SA by a couple dozen women and be president of the United States. I thought this lie would have ended with 45, but here we are. It's giving guilty conscience.
You want to know why men over 40 are staying single? I'll tell you why. Because society raised women to be wives to careers, not husbands. And now the men who were once overlooked are watching rebellion unfold and choosing peace over chaos. These ain't excuses. These are the raw, unfiltered reasons men are walking away from modern women, and many of them don't plan on looking back. You better watch this all the way through or keep wondering why that good man ain't calling you back. Let's set the record straight. This ain't about men being bitter. This ain't about men being weak. This is about men getting wise, men getting structure, and men finally realizing what marriage has turned into and what it costs when you choose a woman who ain't built for submission, peace, or purpose. And if you're one of those women thinking, well, maybe he just can't handle a strong woman, sit tight. You're about to find out he didn't lose interest. He gained clarity. First reason, divorce destroys a man's life. Older men have seen it too many times. Good men getting gutted in court. He loses his house, he loses his pension, his legacy, and she walks away with half his world for bringing nothing but attitude to the table. Why would any man jump into a legal system designed to reward rebellion and punish masculinity?
Men didn't choose to stay single because of a movement. They chose it because of math. Risk versus reward. Stress versus peace. Chaos versus calm. Drama versus stability.
It seems there is this real disconnect at the moment between men and women. Both men and women are choosing to not go into relationships to remain single because it is easier. Men may be choosing, OnlyFans or porn or something else to get what they need, whereas women are just choosing to be the independent women. I can buy myself flowers type things, such as what Miley Cyrus says. And that's where we're at, because it's easier. But what does that mean now for the future? Not just for, society in general, but for you. What does that mean? It's easier now, yes, but boring. It'll be boring. When we can commit to a two-bodied, loving relationship, there is so much pleasure, so much love, so much enjoyment to be had together.
The equation was simple. Men didn't disappear, they disengaged. They didn't revolt. They didn't rage. They didn't campaign. They optimized.
I knew when I posted that video I was going to get this type of comment and I was going to have to make this type of video, and it was going to be from a page with no profile picture. No shade, Sambo 7132, but let me clarify myself, because you've successfully rage baited me. To start off, I don't want a man who just gives me money. That is the last thing I want. I don't want to ever be in a relationship where I feel like I need them for money. I actually love being independent and being able to like support myself. I'm an incredibly independent woman. I have been for a long time. I have been supporting myself since I was like 18. I moved out by my own car by the time I was like 19. I've always been somebody who works hard, has multiple jobs. I've always been the person who supports myself and others. You know, like I'm so grateful to be in that position where like, you know, me and my friends go out to eat and I know that I can take the bill. Like, I love that. And I don't think that your man should pay for everything. Like, especially nowadays, we are the first generation of women where we don't need to like have a man or a spouse that, you know, supports us financially. We don't need that. Like in the past, it was very much so more traditional. It was more, you know, your man goes to work and your woman, you stay at home, you take care of the kids, and he pays for everything. It's kind of transactional and traditional. But I also hate when people want traditional relationships but don't do traditional things. That's a different conversation though. But no, I don't want a man to pay for everything for me. I love being able to support myself and I love making my own money, and that's that. But I think the question I was more so asking in that video, like, does this actually happen? Because I have never been in like a relationship where my man is like paying for everything or like, you know, wanting to support in that way. Or, you know what, rather, I've never even had a boyfriend who has the funds to do that. But I'm also young, you know, I'm like 23 and I've only been in a few relationships. But I think it's more like the idea to me, like being in like your feminine energy like that. Being in such a feminine energy and having a relationship where your man is able to be, you know, masculine enough to be like, okay, like, I got you. You know, because I think you have to have a secure relationship for that. You can't just start dating and then like after a month he's all like, okay, I got all your bills. That's kind of insane. And I think ladies should be careful about like, you know, you don't want your man to control you. You know, you don't want to have to depend on him. That's terrifying. That's scary. Don't do that. But like, for example, like I've been in my masculine energy my whole life. You know, like I got me. I take care of me. I take care of the people around me. Shit, like even previous relationships, I was taking care of them. That was like a situational thing, but still. It just goes back to my point of like never having somebody support me in that way. So I think I'm just more curious to be like, you know, what is that like? What is that like to be in a relationship like that where you are supported in that way? And to an extent, like I said, I don't want a man to pay for everything for me. But like, imagine just being like, okay, babe, I'm gonna go get my nails done. And he's like, oh, let me pay for your nails. Like, that would just make me want to be a better, like, girlfriend for him, you know? I don't know. But another example is I was hanging out with one of my friends the other day. We were working out and she just was radiating this like feminine energy, like everything, just even like the way she was walking around and just almost just unaware of her surroundings, just kind of like doo-doo-doo. Like she's just so feminine. And I'm always like the person who's like very aware of what's going on, making a plan, you know, being in charge of things, taking care of things. Very just like masculine energy. Like I'm so deep in my masculine energy. Like I couldn't even imagine somebody like taking care of me. But like, you know, like I have lots of friends like that are so in their feminine energy and they're in these relationships where they're so taken care of. It's almost like frightening to me. And I find myself like hanging out with these girls, and this is no shade, okay? Like I'm happy for them. But I find myself like hanging out with these girls and, you know, like I'm the one driving us. I'm the one, you know, paying the bill. I'm the one like being like aware of the surroundings. I'm the one being like just in charge, like guiding us. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know? Like there's nothing wrong with these girls being able to be so feminine and being so just woohoo. It's just not me. And part of that like really scares me. I would never want to give up my independence to that extent. I think that's like kind of why I fear relationships and don't attract the kind of men that I want, because I feel like it is like kind of an energy exchange, you know, like if I'm not radiating this feminine energy, if I'm not radiating this like need for security, like it's hard to get that. And I do feel like I kind of have like control issues where it's like if somebody was taking care of me, if I ever felt like somebody had control over my life or what I say or what I do, what I wear or what I can't pay for, I would lose my mind. So I don't know, maybe I don't want that, but I can't help but be curious what it would be like to have a relationship like that. But yeah, like I said, like I think there's levels to it, and I think that if your man is like paying for everything because he wants to control you, that's scary. And there's a difference between that and like being in a healthy relationship where your man just wants to take care of you and he wants to see you in your feminine energy and like he wants to, you know, pay for your nails here and there. It's all just very foreign to me, very out of this world. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Am I like crazy? Am I so far off? Am I delusional? Am I just out of it? I don't know.
Less noise, less conflict, less emotional labor, less pressure to perform, less obligation to prove worth, more sleep, more savings, more focus, more control, more peace.
I made a video in which I put out my theory that the majority, or at least most men that are single, are not as lonely as a lot of individuals out there would like us to believe. In fact, from the majority of the comments from men, most men have actually found it rather peaceful being single. And this seemed to upset some individuals, and by some I mean some women, some of whom left some very disparaging comments in regards to what they thought of me. But it doesn't matter what they think of me. What I want to know is, why would some women get upset that men are more happy single than they were in relationships? Because I think we all know that sometimes it's worse to be in a relationship with someone that doesn't appreciate you than to be single and be by yourself, where you don't have to worry about impressing anyone or worrying about what they're doing. So why would some be upset about what the guys were saying?
And now the narrative says men are lonely, but the men who left don't look lonely. They look relaxed. They look unbothered. They look routine-driven. They look free. Because
fucking come to.
What has it come to?
If I pull up to your house to make a delivery and you have like a fucking like Blue Lives Matter flag, any of that stupid fucking like Let's Go Brandon shit, like signs about like shooting trespassers, like even like one too many American flags, like your shit is getting left at the end of the driveway. Like, I don't fucking care if it's ice cream.
Just imagine the amount of self-righteousness that a person would actually have to have in order to be able to justify treating other people in such a way just because they don't agree with their opinions.
I'm not coming within 10 feet of your home. I am not getting shot by some like Fox News addled conservative who fucking is just waiting at the door with a rifle. Like, it's not happening.
I really wonder if they could have fit in any more generalizations into that statement.
You have been marked unsafe. Like, this is what it has come to with you people. Like, you are marked unsafe. I'm not fucking coming to your house. It's not happening.
After hearing all that, if one does not feel safe around individuals that support blue lives, value the sanctity of their own property, and support the United States by displaying the American flag, where exactly does one feel safe? The possibilities.
this solitude feels different when your life is stable. Silence feels different when your mind is calm. Being single feels different when you're not stressed. That's the part nobody expected.
Okay, I have a theory on why all the hottest girls are single and nobody's married yet. I figured it out. It's because before, hot women were a rare commodity. Now, everyone is just way too hot. It's easy for girls to get hot, right? And now it's like when you see a desirable, high-value man, they have way too many options. And girls don't have options anymore. And it's so frustrating because it's like, people would kind of date in their lane, if you know what I mean. Before there was like fillers and Botox and hair and cute outfits and spray tans and all that stuff. People would date in their lane. Now, everyone's hot. And no, men can't do any type of like plastic surgery or height surgery or whatever. And with women working and men working equal pay, that's also a rare thing. So, ladies, we need to figure out a way to make men suck again. Sorry, they do suck. That's my point. They do suck. We just need to even out the ratio here. We're too hot. Men need to catch up to us. You know what I mean?
Nobody really wants to be single the rest of their life, be on their own. We're pack creatures. So I want to explain when women say, I choose to be single, what they're not telling you, what's really going on. When a woman says, I choose to be single, this is what's happening. The guy that they would want to marry, be with, or have a relationship with, he does not want them. He wants someone else. So he uses them as a secondary option when the someone else that he wants is not available. So that's the interaction that they have between that guy that they really love, care about, and want. Then those same women have men who want them, but they don't like those men. To them, those men are not options. They're bad choices. And they don't want to choose either one of them because they're looking at this guy and saying, this guy who wants another woman is far superior to these guys. So they don't want to choose any of them, right? Now, some ladies use them for financial gain. They take advantage of them. They have them simping out. And some ladies just ignore them. It depends on what your ethical, moral character is, ladies. But I'm going to tell you something. If you're in a situation like this and you're saying, I choose to be single, that is a lie. You have no choice but to be single until you make some different decisions and say, what can I improve on? What can I do differently to put me in the best situation to get the type of man that I do want? I might not be able to get him because he wants someone else, but I want a man at his level and his stature, and I need to take a look internally and see what I need to do and change to get that type of man.
They thought men would collapse. Men recalibrated. They thought men would suffer. Men simplified. They thought men would beg. Men optimized their lives without them.
No, males are not choosing, but
Oh, yes, they are.
I do find it hilarious how they are all like, yeah, we're done with women. That's why we're all single, because we chose to be done with women.
You know, if someone tells you something often enough, maybe you should start believing them because, yeah, a lot of men are just completely done with dating.
You guys didn't choose that. You know you didn't choose that.
Oh, but they did. What exactly is so hard to believe about that?
You know that right now women are becoming really picky and not choosing men that all they do is bring a paycheck.
Like I said before, there's a lot of women that are very upset that a lot of guys are actually choosing to be single because they want all of the power for themselves and to be able to dictate who they date. It is incomprehensible to some that guys actually can choose who to date.
Although there are still women out there who will accept that. And I suggest you go find them and leave us alone.
Oh, I don't think that'll be a problem at all because it's almost like personality types similar to some that we've just seen are almost the very reasons why a lot of guys are choosing to remain single.
Why are single men happier than you think? A lot of single men are not actually miserable. A lot of them are doing better than fine. Society likes to push the idea, oh, men are lost without a woman. That's a lie. For years now, men have been told that their happiness only comes from marriage and kids and overall settling down. But modern relationships don't offer men the same benefits that they used to. Men aren't wrong for asking what's in it for me before they go into a really serious relationship. Single men today have financial freedom and overall peace of mind. They have control over their own lives. They're traveling, building businesses, hitting the gym, and overall going after their goals. And until women are willing to offer a little bit more in relationships, this is going to continue. Holding men to these outdated expectations, but also a variety of new ones that show up every single day, is just not doing it for them. And they're not going to continue having relationships if this keeps up.
Male loneliness epidemic, you said. Why is it the single men that are looking for girlfriends the one who actively shame men in happy marriages for doing things for their wives? Literally had a single guy who claims to be looking for a girlfriend shame my husband for doing his own laundry, helping around the kitchen. These men want to see you suffer, claiming things like, well, my mom worked and did everything for my dad, and here I am today. Beware of the men who brag about their mothers being martyrs and killing themselves for their families, doing everything and struggle. Men, shouldn't you want to break generational curses? Shouldn't you want to see your wife living a happy and living her soft life era? Or are y'all finally admitting that you really don't like women?
Women blamed MGTOW for men choosing solitude. Men didn't choose ideology, they chose peace.
Men stopped playing by the rules And now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest move.